Hey everybody, welcome back to This Old Trike. We got a little bit of a treat for you today, if I don't fall on the ice right here. So my buddy, Jim, who you'll remember from my video 350X's Conquer Buck Mountain, I think is what it was. He's a local buddy of mine, a trike enthusiast. I've sold him a number of machines in the past, probably a year. I think I've only known him a little over a year. Feels like longer, but that's how it goes. He had a space issue going on and needed some assistance in freeing up that space, which the solution was selling some of his beloved possessions. So he's got quite a hoard that I'll show you in just a minute, but we got to go over to his house last night and brought home some goodies. So here's how it all kind of went down. Well, the three-wheeler express just showed up. Let's see who's here. Jim!
Hi.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Fantastic.
What did you bring today?
Let's take a look.
Oh, wow. Three-wheeler express is right. I feel like I've seen these before.
You have.
Well, awesome.
From you to me to you.
Well, I know we have a...
I'm glad that seat didn't blow away because that was attached.
That's funny. Well, let's get these unloaded and let's see what else today's adventure entails.
1 hour later.
Well, here we are at an undisclosed location. Where there's a little hoard of things. You might remember my friend Jim from a previous video. We took three 350Xs and that Kawasaki four-wheeler up mountain in a local hunting club. There's the man of the hour. This is his stash of goodies. 83 Big Red. Nice 85 350X. Nice 85 350X. Nice 86 350X. Another 350X over there. Big Blue. A three-wheeled mini truck. What we're going to help Jim do tonight is make it so his wife can park in the garage now. So Jim has gone in to get some paperwork, and when he comes out, we're going to move these sleds out so we can bring home this Big Blue 1985. I've actually owned this about a year ago, but we're buying it back. We're also going to be taking home this 86 250R that isn't all original, but it's got a lot of original things to it, like the fenders and the headlight and I don't know if that's an original seat or not. Something seems off about it, but he's a 350X guy, so none of the 350Xs are coming home with me. I actually used to own this one. It got raffled, but ended up here. But I am going to bring home this Grom. Is this Daytona orange, Jim?
KTM orange.
KTM Honda orange. Nice little 200S back here, 84. Got another 350X here. Looks to be 85. He's got lots of goodies here. The more you look, the more you notice. This is a Jaguar formerly owned by Sheena Easton. If you are interested in owning this Jaguar, let me know and I'll put you in contact with my buddy Jim. And last but not least, we're bringing home this three-wheeled mini truck. This thing is something. So it was used at a warehouse up in the area. I don't know how many they had there. It's a 4-cylinder gas, right? Gas?
Yep.
A GM motor.
900 and some odd cc's of pure power.
Almost 1,000 cc. We'll round up. But Jim and I are doing some paperwork here, so I'm gonna shut this down.
One eternity later.
Dun, dun, dun.
We have been fighting dead batteries, weak batteries. This has been a little bit longer process than I think either of us thought it would be.
Yep. We're only missing one title. You do have the title for this, correct?
I think everything's still in your kitchen. So we're gonna stick this in the back seat. I hope it'll fit. I've had a Z50 back there. This might be interesting. Look at this guy. What's his deal? Oh, it's my buddy Jim. Driving the old Trike Fun. On our way home. Oh, he's passing me. Thing must be Honda powered. One last hurrah. So we're on our way home from Jim's house, and that was quite the ordeal. Here, I'll go over and get behind him. The battery on the old Tri-Fun 3-wheeled truck was a little weak, and we had to jump that, and then we couldn't find all the paperwork we needed to, but you realize the title is still in the mail, so it is road legal, road worthy. It is pretty funny. So it is a hoot to see him driving it, especially with the Grom in the back. It's like a clown car. But I've got the big blue and the 86 250R in the back of my truck. The 3 90's are already at my house, so it has gotten late. Well, it's later than I thought it was going to be. I have missed dinner officially. Dinner is probably put away. I know my cheerleader at home is not going to be happy about that. But when we get back, I probably won't do much recording. I will leave that for tomorrow. Get some trickle chargers on things that have batteries so they get charged back up, and then go from there.
The next day.
So this machine is a 85 ATC 250 ES, formerly known as a Big Red, but is now a Big Blue. And as I mentioned, I think before, this is my second time owning this machine. Jim bought it from me last year, about a year ago, pretty much. He dialed in the carburetor a little bit better than it was when I got it, and I had gotten it from a buddy who made it into a big blue, but then he needed to pass it on to somebody else, so I was the lucky one. But it's got Meyer fenders on it, a blue painted tank, blue triples. That's what you have to do when you're taking a big red and making it into a big blue. The motor appears to be painted silver. I don't think it was that way when I sold it to Jim, but it is that way now. He had somebody fix that carburetor and do some work on it, so that could have been done at that time. This has a 400EX carburetor on it, so it drinks the fuel and it breathes better with a Cobra pipe on it. These tires, I think, are 27s. Let me see, 26. So on a big red, if you're going to put jacked up tires on it, 27 is about the max that you can do before you start running into issues with your tire hitting your fender. It looks like there's plenty of room there, but I've got 27s on my Big Bubba, and I touch. So I guess depends on the tire. So it's got a black seat cover on it, which it should as an 85, but that's not a factory seat cover because the 85s did not say Honda on the back. These decals, I believe, were done by Scott Sansucci of DDR Slap. Great guy with a great product. If you need some decals, you can reach out to him. This thing, the battery's a little weak. Jim didn't have heated storage, so the battery was a little weak on this, and getting it started last night, we weakened it right down, but I'm going to go get a trickle charger on it. A good trick for these, since the batteries are under the seat, under the fender, not an easy place to get to, you can buy your trickle chargers. Nowadays, they usually come with it, a set of an adapter that you can bolt right to your battery and leave the plug under your seat, so it makes it easy to plug these in on a trickle charger. But that was the first one we brought home. We brought them all home together, but that's the first one we're talking about it. But now we can talk about this 86 250R, which has been restored, we'll say. I mean, when I think restore, I think back to original, but this one's been rehabbed, refurbished, given a facelift. It's got OEM crack-free fenders. They're not perfect. Like I see a scuff here, but they're really nice, actually. Little rash right there. Honda line headlight guard with the insert. These look like original bars, but they look too good to be original. I don't know what they might be off of, or maybe they're aftermarket. Obviously, it does not have the gold rims. Those look to be maybe 400EX rear rims, or that's common for a variety of machines. The swing arm does not look to be original. No, it's definitely not original. I don't know what that's from. It's got the toolbox. It's got an OEM grab bar. Feels really nice. It's been painted. Had some rash here I can feel. OEM original fenders. Now, if you watch my series on the differences between the ATC 250Rs, the third gens, you'll know that a double embossed fender is what came on the 86 250Rs from the factory. So if you broke these fenders after it was new and you went and got replacement fenders, they'd have an embossed warning here, and then this content of what's written here would be on a sticker. But double embossed is true 86 fenders in very nice condition. They can be buffed up and made to shine a little bit nicer than they are now. FMF expansion chamber. I'm not familiar with what exhaust that is, but it's mounted correctly, which a lot of times they're not, and it looks decent. So just got a message from my buddy, the guy who runs MRC Builds, is messaging me live. If you haven't watched his content or gone to his channel, you should do that. MRC Builds. Great channel. What else? Black top triple. We know that's how the 86s came. Now, if you notice, I don't know if it shows in the video, but the frame is an orange color. I don't know why you'd do that. He did it, but I don't know why anyone would do that. These are Dunlop tires, KT355H. They look like 400EX tires, but they're not. They're not Dunlops. Kind of a cool tread. I kind of dig it. Very nice condition, though. Jim was dialing in the carburetor because it was running a little bit less than perfect, we'll say. But a very respectable machine. And then I picked up these guys. These guys I've all owned once before. This was the first 74 90 that I was able to buy, but it was actually the third one that I took possession of because my buddy Ryan Cogswell up at Mine Shaft Minis on Instagram, he bought this on my behalf, and it took me a little while to go pick it up from him. And by the time I did, I'd already owned two more. So, and they were a little bit nicer. So this one didn't hang around. You'll notice this one's missing a tank. That's a 78 ATC 90. Jim had all these tanks sent to a guy and lined. And I think he was just getting them back to running riding condition, but ran into a space issue, so had to punt them. This is a 1980 ATC 110. So this thing's the same age as I am. Might be looking better, honestly. Maybe not. But I can't remember the status when I sold these. I think the two were running. Maybe this one wasn't. I honestly can't remember, but we'll give them a little attention, clean them up. I don't think I'm going to be keeping these. Jury's still out on the R and the Big Blue. This R came with a California title, so that's kind of exciting. At the same time, it's not, because I have a powder-coated silver 86 250R frame that at first I thought, ooh, I can just switch the frame over, but this one's got a California title. Well, I don't know what else to speak on when it comes to these. I want to get them wheeled in, get the trickle charger on the Big Blue. Battery on the 250R should be fine. That was a joke. Hopefully you got it. But there's two more things that we need to show you. And let me get to those. Let me present to you my 2009 Tri-Fun mini truck thing. This is about the height of ridiculousness. It's stickered up with UW, Universal Warehousing Incorporated, which is a warehouse operation that's probably 20 minutes from here. I think the building used to be used by Universal Studios or Universal to make records and things like that, CDs. And so this was used there. I don't know when it was sold, but it did sell locally here about a year ago. Back in the spring, I guess. My buddy bought it and had some work done to it. Made it roadworthy. It is it is road legal. I just drove it to town. Filled up the tank, which isn't much there. It was reading empty. I put 3.5 gallons in it, and now she's full. So he drove it 40 minutes from his house to my house last night. And it is snowy. I haven't plowed. And drove through the snow just fine. Through my icy driveway. It needs to be cleaned out. My daughter will love that. Needs a vacuum job. It's definitely been used for work. The seats have seen some better days. I think it would benefit tremendously from a little wipeout and vacuum job. I think the dash got overheated at some point, and it's pulled out. It was fastened up there at one point, but it's been compromised. I mean, it's all or nothing. It's a 4-cylinder GM motor, 5-speed, standard. Tilt bed. All the sides can fold down, the back can fold down. Holds a Grom perfectly. I was going to put the Grom in the back seat of my truck to get home, because I've done that with a QA50 and a Z50 before, but that's quite a bit bigger than either of those. It was not going to make it. So this is my Grom, I guess. Apparently I bought it. 2020 Halloween orange. It's got 34 miles on it. My buddy had bought the kit to delete this thing, but he never installed it. I don't think I'll be keeping the Grom. Everything's registered, street legal. He was told that the orange was a special color, but then I spent about 30 seconds Googling that today, and I don't think the orange is a special color. Correct me if I'm wrong. What do I do? Should I get a heat gun out and take the universal stickering off it? What should I do? Should consult with my friend Vinny Staffa. My son and I did just take this to town, though, and I don't live in a very populated area, but about every single person we went past was smiling and looking and craning their neck around to see what the heck just passed them on the road. So it's pretty funny. And that is all I got for you. Palin has fallen in love with the Tri-Fun. I don't even know if that's what it's called, but that's what it says, so I guess that's what we'll call it, the old Tri-Fun. We've been playing with the 250R that runs. You'll see that in a second. It needs to be jetted. Apparently Jim was dialing in the jets. It hadn't run right since he got it, so he's trying to figure out the sweet spot so the throttle is responsive as you'd want it. We've got the big blue on a trickle charger here. Like I mentioned, I just wired these in, this little pigtail. So I'll leave that right under the seat when it's not in use, and when it needs to be charged up, we can plug it right in. So this has a 400EX carburetor on it and a Cobra exhaust, so it sounds pretty mean. You'll see that. I didn't get any video of this thing driving around other than Jim driving it last night, but you get the gist of it. I've got that on a trickle charger too. You all right, Palin? And I went from having all sorts of room in the shop and liking it to now I'm bumping into stuff, and we are in close quarters here, but I think we're going to close this out. Well, thanks so much for watching our latest adventure. The girl's trying out the Grom for size. How's it fit, Palin? Feels good. So the shop is full. The two 90s and the 110 are going to spend the night outside, and we'll get to them. I still got to get the tank for the one, and the title for the mini truck is still in the mail. I think I got to get some paperwork yet for the Grom. So we will we'll get those things, and I'm not going to keep all of these things. So as always, if you see this and you see something you're curious about, you can leave a comment or get a hold of me through my Instagram account, this_old_trike, or find me on Facebook. I'm not hard to track down. And make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss all our content and our new videos. Right, Pepe? All right. Well, thanks again, everybody. Have a great night. All the best from our family to yours this time of year, and we will catch you in the next video. Thanks again.